Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, now that you know, parentheses, I mean, they already knew, close parentheses, that I'm not going to cooperate with them. There is nothing I can do. So I don't know what they are going to use.
She sat in that Virginia courtroom, her voice shaking as she read her own words out loud. Words she'd written from a jail cell, promising her lover she'd never betray him. Words like, "I'll take the blame for both of us," and "I'd give my life for his." The morning 2 people were killed in a suburban Virginia home while a 4-year-old slept downstairs. She testified that the world deserved to know what really happened, and she couldn't keep the feelings of shame, guilt, and sadness to herself anymore.
What ultimately made you decide that you were going to enter this plea?
Was the thought of being the right thing to do. I guess we all deserved to know what really happened, and I just couldn't hold it. I just couldn't keep it to myself. The feeling of shame and guilt and sadness and all those feelings.
This is the story of how an affair turned into a murder plot. How love became manipulation, and how the weight of a terrible secret finally crushed the woman who helped carry it out. Quick question before we get into this. Do you think someone can truly love the person they're willing to lie for, even if it means covering up murder? Comment yes or no below. I'm really curious what you think. We'll get to the jaw-dropping moment when Juliana completely turned on Brendan in just a bit. But first, can you believe that this whole nightmare started with what seemed like the perfect au pair job? October 2021. A young woman named Juliana Peres Magalhães, just 21 years old, arrived from Brazil to work as an au pair for the Banfield family in Herndon, Virginia. The job seemed perfect, caring for a young daughter in an upscale neighborhood, living with what appeared to be a normal family. Brendan Banfield was an IRS investigator. His wife, Christine, was 37. They had a 4-year-old daughter. On the surface, everything looked ideal. But in August 2022, about 10 months after Juliana moved in, she and Brendan Banfield began a sexual relationship, an affair that would change everything. According to what Juliana would later tell prosecutors, Brendan told her he wanted to marry her and have children with her, but he needed to get rid of his wife first. Why not just get divorced? He didn't want to pay for a divorce, and he didn't want to share custody of their daughter. He believed his wife would get more money than him in a split. Here's where it gets chilling. In the fall of 2022, Brendan expressed his desire to be rid of his wife and began planning to kill her, and eventually to kill another man named Joseph Ryan. The plan? Create a fake profile for Christine on a sexual fetish website. Find someone willing to participate in what they'd be told was consensual roleplay. Lure that person to the house. Then kill them both and claim self-defense. It sounds like something out of a crime thriller. But this was real, and it was about to happen. Court records show Brendan bought a firearm on January 28, 2023. Prosecutors revealed that 2 months before the killings, Juliana and Brendan visited the Silver Eagle Group shooting range together. He was teaching her to shoot, preparing her for what was coming. They found their target on FetLife, a website for people interested in alternative sexual practices. His name was Joseph Ryan, a 39-year-old man from Springfield who believed he was communicating with Christine Banfield about a consensual encounter involving violent roleplay with a knife. Ryan connected with the account and arranged plans for a sexual encounter that would involve a knife. In Telegram messages before the meeting, Ryan sent a photo of chains and a knife he planned to bring. He thought this was consensual. He thought Christine wanted this. He had no idea he was walking into a trap. Brendan took several steps in the days before to create a scene he knew would be investigated. They got new phones and Apple ID accounts. He checked the neighborhood for surveillance cameras, changed his morning routine, and even had soundproof windows installed. February 24, 2023. The morning everything happened. Juliana testified that she and Brendan concocted reasons to leave the house that morning so Christine would be alone. Crime scene detective testimony included a video from McDonald's near the Banfield home, showing Brendan waiting there for a call from Juliana alerting him that Joseph Ryan had arrived. As Christine slept upstairs, Brendan unlocked the house door for Ryan and confirmed his arrival time on Christine's phone before shutting it off and hiding it in a kitchen drawer. Brendan gave Juliana his personal firearm that she kept in her pocket, while he carried his separate service weapon as an IRS investigator. What happened next is horrifying. According to prosecutors, they put Brendan's daughter in the basement, then went upstairs to the bedroom holding their weapons. Joseph Ryan was holding Christine Banfield down. Brendan called out police officer and then shot Joseph Ryan in the head. Christine told Juliana to call 911. Juliana did, but hung up after Brendan motioned to her. Juliana testified that she crouched behind the bed and covered her eyes and ears while Brendan repeatedly stabbed his wife. When she came back from getting towels, she saw Brendan stabbing Christine. At some point, she saw Ryan still moving and shot him with the gun Brendan had given her that morning. Then they called 911 again and reported the killings as if Ryan was an intruder who had stabbed Brendan's wife.
Is there somebody else there that can give me the address?
13230 Stablebrook Way.
Okay. And what's your name and what's going on?
My name is Brendan Banfield. I'm a federal agent. This is my house. There's somebody here. I shot him. But he stabbed her. She's bleeding. She's got several marks on her neck. What do I do?
Okay. So what I need you to do is apply direct pressure directly to where she's bleeding from, okay? And if it becomes silk, just add more cloth to it. It's already there. How old is the person?
I don't know.
The person that's bleeding?
37.
Okay.
Police arrived to find Christine Banfield with fatal stab wounds and Joseph Ryan dead from gunshot wounds. Christine was taken to a hospital but later died from her injuries.
Hey, Paul. Or Jose. You got that. You got that. Watch out, man.
There's a dog back there. So somebody's outside. Someone's outside in the back?
In the back?
There's a dog in the back too.
Anyone else outside? Who else is outside?
Nobody's outside.
Anyone over here?
My room. And here.
Man, stay here. Man.
Hey,
Stay right here.
who is the shooter?
Who shot who?
Brendan, he's an officer.
I got a blowout kit if you need it.
Bring it up.
Is there anyone else in the house? Any kids in the house? Okay.
Yeah. I'll hold down here.
Okay.
He's 4.5.
Four and a half. Where is? Good. Still breathing.
Sorry?
Still breathing.
Still breathing?
Hey.
Do you want me to put her to watch a show or something?
If you just want to tell me quickly what happened,
I don't really know what happened. Everything happened too fast. I was going to take her to the zoo this morning.
can you go with Officer Battani really quick?
Come with us.
He has some stickers for you.
I was going to take her to the zoo this morning. And then I forgot the lunch we were going to bring. I turned around and came back here. And then I saw this car. This is her car. Person, I guess.
You don't know who that? Do you know who the person is?
I have no idea. And then I saw his car, called her to see what's going on because it's early in the morning, like, who was here? And then he was straight to voicemail. I called Brendan, it's her husband. He's up there. I told him, I see a strange car, but I don't know who is that. Can you please come in here? I'm scared. I was in the car. And then he came here, and then we went inside. The guy, I don't know who it is, he was spanking her. I was just here.
Were you here when it happened, or did you walk up in there and that's how they were?
Yeah, he went upstairs first, and then I went to see what is going on. I left the basement, and then when I went upstairs, Brendan was saying, "Police, drop the knife."
So, Brendan's a police officer.
Yeah, he's an officer.
Is he with Fairfax?
No.
Where is he an officer?
I don't know. I think he was officer in Vienna.
Vienna?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second.
I'm gonna get.
Okay.
Do you need anything else right now?
Not right now. The guy who shot is they think a Vienna police officer. So we got to think about that. That car, we don't know who. That's the guy who came up here that started the issue. This car is the outside guy, the silver car.
These two.
So this is their car. That is the guy who came here.
Okay.
And then it was because they were yelling at each other. He was saying like, drop the. I'm sorry, my first language is not English.
No, you're doing really well.
He was saying drop the.
The knife or the gun?
The gun. Yeah, and Brendan said, "No, police, don't drop the knife." And then he was saying, "I'm gonna kill her. And I don't know. He started stabbing her. I think Brendan shot him, and he asked me help to shot him too because.
It's okay. You don't have to get it all out right now.
I never saw her before. Like
you didn't see the girl before either. So the guy and the girl you don't know.
She's my boss.
Okay.
But I never seen it before. Like it's a lot of blood.
For months, it looked like they'd gotten away with it. But something was eating at Juliana. 8 months after the killings, in October 2023, police arrested Juliana and charged her with second-degree murder. When police searched the home, they found a framed photo of Brendan and Juliana smiling together on his bedside table, the same bedroom where Christine had been murdered. For over a year, Juliana stayed silent. She wrote letters to Brendan from jail. In December 2023, she wrote to him, "I'm not going to cooperate with them. There's nothing on you, so I don't know what they are going to use." In another letter to Brendan's mother, she wrote, "I'd give my life for his, and I would never do anything to hurt him or against him. Whatever they're saying, whatever they want to believe, I don't care. I'll take the blame for the both of us." But as the months wore on in jail, something changed. In spring 2024, she wrote to Brendan, "Sometimes I just think to myself like I can't believe I'm facing life in prison for someone. Things weren't supposed to be this way, right? But people are stupid, including me, and make mistakes. Act without thinking. That's how I did." She wrote in November 2023. "I don't want to live like this. I just don't want to feel this way anymore. It's torture. I love you more than anything." The isolation. The weight of what she'd done. Messages to her family throughout summer 2024 showed her complaining about her lawyer, feeling he wasn't working efficiently for her. She felt abandoned, alone, crushed under the truth she was carrying. Then, just days before her own trial was set to begin, Juliana broke. Attorneys say the former au pair changed her mind and began to talk to officials about the killings and about Brendan Banfield's alleged involvement. She pleaded guilty to a downgraded manslaughter charge, and in exchange for cooperating against Brendan, prosecutors would recommend she be sentenced to time served. Here's what I want to know from you. If you were in Juliana's position, isolated in jail, facing life in prison, would you have flipped on your partner? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is a tough one. January 13th, 2026. Brendan Banfield's trial began in Fairfax County, Virginia. He's charged with aggravated murder in the deaths of Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan, and faces up to life in prison if convicted. He's also charged with child abuse and felony child cruelty because his 4-year-old daughter was at the house during the killings. Juliana took the stand as the prosecution's star witness. And there, sitting just feet away from the man she once wrote love letters to, she told the jury everything. When a prosecutor asked why she ultimately decided to plead guilty and cooperate, she testified. The thought of being the right thing to do, I guess. The world deserved to know what really happened, and I just couldn't hold it. I just couldn't keep it to myself. The feeling of shame and guilt and sadness and all those feelings.
You said you were concerned you wouldn't be able to communicate with your mom. What was your concern? Why was that a concern for you?
Because I only had Brendan's mother or him to help me communicate with my family in Brazil via phone call or messages. I depended on them financially to be able to be texting my mom, and yeah.
So what ultimately made you decide that you were going to enter this plea?
Was the thought of being the right thing to do. I guess we all deserved to know what really happened, and I just couldn't hold it. I just couldn't keep it to myself. The feeling of shame and guilt and sadness and all those feelings.
And so you decided to enter a plea. What made you decide to cooperate and testify against the defendant in this case?
Well, I got the plea because it was also the right thing to do, and sorry, and also because I had a potential of getting less time.
Between February 24th, 2023 and October of 2023, did you continue your romantic relationship with the defendant?
Yes.
And after February 24th, 2023, did you ever go back and live at the house on Stablebrook Way?
Yes.
Who lived at the house with you after you were able to go back to the house?
At that point, it was only me, Brendan, and Valerie.
And when you returned to the house, what bedroom did you stay in?
When I first returned, I stayed in my bedroom, my upper bedroom.
Did anyone stay in that bedroom with you?
Yes.
Who?
Brendan.
And did the two of you ever move into the master bedroom?
Eventually, yes.
Do you recall when?
I would say maybe.
Don't guess. Do you recall when?
No.
Okay. When you came to live in that house before February 24th, 2023, when you first arrived in October of 2021, who lived in the master bedroom at that time?
Christine and Brendan.
And where did you live when you came in October of 2021?
I had my own bedroom.
And where was that bedroom?
It's on the same floor as the master bedroom and Valerie's bedroom.
She said she withheld the truth for a long time just to herself, and it was a lot for her to deal with, and she just couldn't deal with it anymore. Brendan's defense attorney, John Carroll, fought back hard. He pointed out the contradictions. Throughout her testimony, Juliana said she couldn't recall specific details or dates. When pressed on who created email addresses and what room they were in when setting up the fake account, she repeatedly testified she didn't remember. Carroll painted a picture of a vulnerable young woman, far from home, who was pressured by prosecutors to lie. He told the jury that the whole reason she was arrested was to flip her against his client, and that she was offered plea deals 4 or 5 times that all required her to testify against Brendan. When Carroll challenged her motives for turning on Banfield, Juliana said she held on to the truth until she couldn't anymore. Her jail messages didn't reflect her true feelings, she testified, because she knew her correspondence was being monitored. There's something else. Juliana acknowledged that media producers wanted her to sell her story. One production company hoping to make a documentary about the case has contributed money to her commissary account. In a message about a potential Netflix deal, she wrote, "We deserve something," later clarifying she meant her and her family deserved compensation for everything they'd been through. Brendan, wearing a grey suit and striped tie, occasionally glanced up as Juliana testified. She did not appear to look back at him. If this story has shocked you even half as much as it shocked me while researching it, hit that subscribe button. We cover cases like this every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So where does this leave us? Joseph Ryan's mother, Deirdre Fisher, told reporters that her son had talked to her about consensual role play but said he was not a violent person. She remembers every detail of learning about her son's death. "I remember when I got the call from the detective, I could hear my own voice screaming." A mother lost her son who thought he was meeting someone for a consensual encounter. A 4-year-old girl lost her mother in the most violent way imaginable. And a young woman from Brazil, whether victim or villain, destroyed her own life in the name of what she thought was love. The defense argues that both the lead homicide detective and the forensic detective disagreed with the prosecution's catfishing theory, and both were later transferred. A former digital forensic examiner testified that he analysed dozens of devices and concluded Christine Banfield had connected with Ryan herself, findings that were peer-reviewed by the University of Alabama. Carroll argues this creates reasonable doubt, but Juliana's testimony paints a different picture. A calculated plan, months of preparation, a trap designed to look like self-defense. The trial continues. Brendan Banfield maintains his innocence. And Juliana? She'll be sentenced at the conclusion of Banfield's trial. Depending on her cooperation with authorities, attorneys have said she could be sentenced to the time she has already served. The jury will ultimately decide whose version of the truth to believe. Was this a woman finally doing the right thing after being consumed by guilt? Or was this a calculated move by someone who realised she was going down and decided to take her former lover with her? What do you think? Is Juliana telling the truth, or is she just trying to save herself? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you know someone who needs to hear this story, share this video with them. The truth is, we may never fully know what happened in that Virginia home. But one thing is certain. 3 lives ended on February 24th, 2023. And the ripple effects of that morning will echo for years to come. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.